Hey everybody, and welcome to Geek Freaks. And we are in our new studio. Whoop whoop. Might be a little echoey. Actually, I know it's a little echoey because we can hear it right now in the recording. But we're slowly fixing that and getting more and more. What are those called?
Sound deafening foam?
Yeah, we'll go with that. You sound so fancy. Yeah. It sounds good. So I'm Frank. I'm always here. And then we have Daniel.
What's up, all?
And we have John.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey. All right, and moving chords. Today we're talking a little bit about the news. We're going to be giving a quick review on Resident Evil 2, the remake, and then we're going to be talking about conventions, and I'm going to go with first looks on Kingdom Hearts 3. We'll do a bigger review of Kingdom Hearts 3 as a separate recording all by itself, because that game's been 13 years in the making, so it deserves its own special episode. So I'll do that later on. So what are you guys doing right now? What are you guys playing? What are you guys watching? I know you're finishing up Resident Evil.
I am playing Resident Evil 2, and I also did buy Kingdom Hearts 3 yesterday.
Yeah.
I had the final call, like make sure you pick it up or you're going to lose your CD, so I had to go pick it up. But now I'm playing Resident Evil 2, the remake, and I've always been a fan since the PlayStation 1 version came out, so I probably beat it like 6 times. Me and my buddy, we brought our TVs over, and then he would play on one screen, I play on the other, and then we'll swap CDs. Like, all right, you beat this one, I'll beat this one, and then you do the second run. So it was fun. We play hardcore. So when they finally came out with a remake, I was excited. I couldn't believe it. They finally did it. And so I started playing it.
Hold on, you're itching to give your full review right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Let's do the news.
What?
News.
Oh.
I know. You're excited. I know you are.
Oh.
Let's go with the news first. I know. So we'll get into it. I was just checking on what you're playing right now. So you're currently doing the Resident Evil. What are you watching? Anything?
Right now, I am catching up on Supernatural, and then I finished watching Black Butler season 1.
How is that now that you've finished a full arc?
I actually like it now.
Okay.
After like the first 10 episodes, it actually finally got good.
Yeah.
So now I need to figure out where I'm going to watch the second and third. Because I really don't want to watch the sub version of it. I don't really like the sub version.
Okay.
I like the dub better, but...
They don't have the dubbed on like Crunchyroll?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't really look on Crunchyroll, but I looked at like kissanime.com and...
Oh my god, you know so much more than I do. I'm like, it's Crunchyroll or nothing, right?
Yeah.
That's all I know. Alright, John, are you watching anything? You playing anything right
now? Not a lot. I haven't started Skyrim, but that's my goal right now is to play that before the new Elder Scrolls game comes out.
You got a few years, so probably won't make it.
Oh, don't worry, it takes me... I've been talking about starting playing it for months, still reading Saga. I haven't really made much time with that, made much progress with that. But right now I'm rewatching Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
In season 5, it's amazing.
You rewatch that every year, don't you?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm the same with the Yu Yu Hakusho, the anime. I have to watch that every year, like the whole series.
Yeah.
I finally watched A Quiet Place, which was really good. Yeah. I just had to wait for a time when my wife's going to be out of the house and there's not going to be, anything to scare her.
Written and directed by John Krasinski. They're working on a sequel for that.
Yeah, and I don't think it was scary enough that it would have bothered her too. So I got to convince her to sit down and watch it. Which one was that? Quiet Place, where there's these creatures. And, that was it.
They had to be quiet the whole time, and then there's these creatures that are out there that they can't They see by sound.
They walk on sand. They leave a trail of sand so that their footprints don't make noise.
Did you not see it either?
I don't watch scary movies.
You play Resident Evil. What do you don't watch scary movies?
It was a good movie. I liked it. It was really cool.
That's cool.
All right. Myself, I've been playing Minecraft just because it's been busy with the move and everything like that.
Minecraft?
Yeah. Classic. That's inside joke. But yeah, so I've been playing that just kind of, it's my kind of like, just I needed something to relax game. Mm-hmm. But now Kingdom Hearts is out.
They added polar bears, didn't they?
They did, and they are mean son bitches.
Yeah.
I'm building.
So many people dying to them.
I'm building in like the tundra, so it's just so much polar bears right now. Yeah. This time, because I always name my new worlds after myself, so they're always like Taft something Taft. My game Taft. Right. So what it is we used to have Taft Town. I used to have Taft Town, which is a shared server we had where it was huge, and that server got ruined because they introduced horses and ended up crashing the old server, the old Java game. Well, now that I'm on the Windows 10 version, which is a more stable game, I decided I'm going to remake Tafftown, not necessarily in the same image, but I'm going to make a huge world that instead of making new worlds, I just go back to this world and start anew if I want to, somewhere else within the world. Mm. That way I have access to the Nether and the End if I want to, stuff like that. So, yeah, clearly I have too much time. That's what's going on. But yeah, it's kind of my chill out game. And then as for watching, I'm not really watching anything. I've been binging old Dollops again. I always do that. So.
Nice.
Old what?
Dollops is the podcast. Me and John both.
It's easy to listen to when you're working on stuff, and you find yourself busting up laughing in the middle of nowhere. It's hilarious. So
it's a really good podcast. Yeah, that's about it. So let's dig into the news, guys. Again, just as a heads up to behind the curtains, we record every other week, so sometimes the news is hot and fresh. This one's gonna be hot and fresh. Nice. Some weeks it's not. That'll be next week. The news will seem a little stale. Well, yeah, it's because it is. So. Let's talk about Morbius. It's a Spider-Man spinoff. He's a vampire from the Spider-Man world. They cast Matt Smith from The Crown and from Doctor Who. He's going to be working in there. It's starting to ramp up, but I'm a little worried about this movie because it's Jared Leto playing Morbius, and I'm tired of Jared Leto. He was Joker, the newest Joker.
Yeah, after ruined the Joker.
So, we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'm kind of just... And Morbius is just a whatever character.
Yeah, bringing vampires into Spider-Man's world. We haven't seen anything like that, right?
Well, the best case scenario of this is that it's a reason for Blade to come in. Because Blade is also Marvel.
Oh, maybe they're taking that side step to lead to that. That'd be kind of cool.
But why not just bring Blade in now? We all love Blade.
But he's a hero that needs to have a purpose, so you can't bring him in without having villains to take out.
Yeah. So there's that. I don't know.
I just realized Jared Leto is Ben Affleck.
What do you mean?
Like in ruining...
Is this Inception?
No, in ruining movies.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Batman.
Daredevil's okay.
Well, as a kid when I watched Daredevil, I liked it, but yeah, it's one of the most smashed on.
Now when you see the series of Daredevil, you're oh man, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I need to get caught up on those too.
Sandra Bullock will be playing. She's working on a new Netflix show called Reborn. Might be a movie, actually. No, I think it's a show. But anyways, it's called Reborn, from a comic book called Reborn. Mm. She's the producer for it. And I think she's going to be playing in it, too. I didn't know about this comic book, and after seeing this news, I looked into it. I think I'm actually going to be picking it up and checking it out. It's about an 80-year-old woman who dies and wakes up in an afterlife set a fantasy world where she's like a person in a fantasy world, right? And she sees amalgamations of her real life friends. So like her neighbor is the shopkeeper, and the mailman is this knight that's like saving people and stuff like that. So she's looking for her husband this whole time, which sounds like he's the bad guy. And it just seems like a really cool twist.
Kind of like Alice in the Rabbit Hole kind of deal.
I got a real Wizard of Oz feel.
Yeah.
Because like the Tin Man was her neighbor and stuff like that too. Which they actually just tacked that onto the end, whatever. The Wizard of Oz, but so I'm looking forward to that. I think after Bird Box, Sandra Bullock kind of do whatever she wants with Netflix.
Yeah, they probably just said, "Hey, you put it on paper, and we'll make it." You know?
Yeah.
That sounds cool. You said it's a comic series already too.
Yeah, it's a comic series. It's called Reborn. I want to say it's Image, might be Dark Horse that made it. But it's one of those offshoot ones.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out too. That sounds good.
Yeah. There's a new trailer for the Fast and Furious spinoff, Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh god.
That was my reaction first. Yeah. Okay. Have you seen? Are you up to date on?
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm kind of excited because I like Jason Statham.
I gotta admit, the trailer's really good.
Really?
It was really good. It had me laughing. Did you watch the full trailer?
No, I didn't actually.
It had me laughing. It looks like it's gonna be more comedy based in the Fast and Furious franchise.
That's good.
The villain, which already sells it to me, Idris Elba.
Yeah.
He can just do whatever. I'll watch whatever he does. I watched Dark Tower and liked it actually. But he's the bad guy, and it's funny because he's straight up like a super villain. He has super strength and is bulletproof in the Fast and Furious world. Like, what the heck? He's using some military tech, or whatever, to enhance his body to make himself bulletproof and super strong. But the relationship between The Rock and Jason Statham is so hilarious. Watching these two work together, that I know this is actually going to be a pretty good movie. And the Fast and Furious movies have been getting good. So
yeah, I liked them. I liked the original. 3 were really good, but then I think they started. I don't know. They didn't either didn't change direction or didn't change direction well. And so like I like that you're saying this looks like it's made to be more of a comedy because that sounds like what they should have tried to do or some change their dynamic a little bit back.
I think in general they don't still take themselves seriously at all.
Yeah.
Because like in the first movies they were a group of guys that were selling DVD players, and now they're racing submarines to save the world. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's
you go from an exciting car heist kind of movie, and then you can't keep repeating that same formula over and over again without it getting comical. That they're really going that far now,
right? So I like that they have gone that far, but now they got this movie, this Hobbs and Shaw, that's kind of like okay, let's kind of just make fun of it a little bit,
Yeah. That sounds good.
But and Fast and Furious itself, while in development, is slowing down because I guess there's some drama. A couple of the characters, like Vin Diesel and stuff like that, are not happy that The Rock's getting his own spinoff. And like, hey guys, just a heads up, The Rock is freaking awesome. He definitely is a boost to your guys' franchise, right? I mean, he's amazing. Well, Jason Statham is too. I mean, you can't blame him for like, hey, let's just make some extra money,
They're well known.
They're already having fights though before even that.
Yeah.
Like they were like upset. One made a comment about steroids, and then so they're already like hating each other.
So we'll see.
Disband, or just have a race off.
Have a race off. Speaking of Fast and Furious, Hot Wheels has teamed up with Warner Brothers to make a live action Hot Wheels movie. What? I know. Why are you doing this? Is it just because you can? I mean,
I think it is. I think now they've gotten it down to where making movies isn't so expensive that they could just make a movie about anything and it'll make its money back.
It reminds me of the Battleship movie. You ever watched the Battleship movie? Did you watch the Battleship movie?
I've seen like trailers and I thought it was kind of dumb.
Okay, guys. So check out. First off, it's got Rihanna, so that's already a good sign, right?
No.
If it wasn't for so much aliens, which there's aliens in Battleship, it actually would have been a really good movie. If it was actually more about the actual battleships, there was an old time battleship that came in and helped them that was like this, like manned by a World War II crew and stuff like that. I mean, there was a lot of elements to that movie that were like, damn, this is a good just blockbuster movie. I hated the male lead because he's always just the worst. I don't remember his name, but
and all the alien ships, it was like, our marine ships on one side and alien ships in the water on the other side, and we're launching attacks back and forth, right?
We're launching attacks back and forth, like and there's something that scrambled the radar, so we're just kind of blindly launching. Yeah. And they're like, that one hit, this one missed. It was kind of, that was really shoehorned.
They have two cups with a string to communicate to.
Yeah. I mean, that part was really kind of just dragged in. They had to fit that hit and miss aspect in. But there was a lot about the movie that was good. I had a lot of elements, so I'm hoping... I can't imagine Hot Wheels being good. They just need to hire The Rock for it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see there being... They're not tied down to anything except for maybe using the tracks in the movie somehow. They have these cool looking...
That's a good point.
Weird paths. But other than that, it's pretty open-ended because it's cars.
It's just cars.
Toy cars, they're going to have these awesome Fast and the Furious cars, and they just happen to be, hopefully, in like a Tron kind of world where they're driving on these tracks, digital world. But
he sold me on Tron.
Yeah, right? I mean, imagine, because those tracks would be hard to do in the real life. But
now I'm thinking, like, when is that Tron movie coming out?
It's been canceled and restarted. It's a real Star Trek 4 situation. No, I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
All right, so some TV news. CW orders a pilot for a show based on The Lost Boys, the old Kiefer Sutherland movie.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't like that?
I don't know. It was old. It was okay, but
have you ever watched Lost Boys?
No.
The movie. So it's a movie based off of like 4 vampire kids or teenagers that are just like a gang and a bunch of punks. And then I think there's one. Man, it's been a long time since I've watched it, but it was good when I watched it last.
I think I was in middle school.
Yeah, so I'll probably have to watch it again to like see if it is actually good, but we'll see how it is. Anyway, so they ordered a pilot for that. Netflix renews F is for Family for season 4.
That's a good show.
That's
a terrible show for children and families to watch, but it is funny.
That's like a Portuguese household right there.
It's funny because it's one of those shows where you watch it, you're just like, that's how it is for my family.
It's an abusive household.
Why? But there's a lot of elements to it that you're just like. The answering machine thing from the first season and stuff like that, just kind of, I don't know. Yeah. And the brothers and stuff like that.
That show is better than Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of shows better than Family Guy. That's hitting the 20th anniversary. Can you believe that? It came out in 1999.
It must just be cheap to produce.
It was so good at the beginning, and now I'm just like, really kind of...
Well, that's how South Park was too. It was good
Yeah.
in the beginning, and then it was just like, okay, we're just gonna make whatever.
Right. It's because you see the formula, and they repeat the formula, and if the formula can't stand up to the test of time, then it's not worth it. For Family Guy, it's real easy. It's like, that reminds me of the time I... And then answer anything. Dance with a burrito. Then it cuts back to him dancing with a burrito. Then it goes back to the main story that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And it's just that the entire time.
A whole bunch of cutbacks.
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
And then South Park's big thing is like, how can we be as offensive as possible to make people laugh at our offensiveness?
Yeah.
Bring in relative... Now they're kind of having the connecting storylines, which is at least a different try. But even then, it's just not as good as it used to be. And what's funny to me is like everybody bashes on how Simpsons used to be great and it's not good anymore. Simpsons formula is the only thing that's standing up to the test of time. Like those are actually cohesive stories with well thought out jokes that sometimes you have to watch a couple times to get all the jokes, which is like a real... Rick and Morty is like the next level of that. But it's one of those things where, you know, you're not going to laugh right away. It's kind of like a Bob's Burger thing too, where you're not going to laugh right away, but it's the characters and it's how they react to things and stuff like that. So... Yeah, I mean, Simpsons they always joke around about how they hire a bunch of Harvard people. If you went to Harvard and you're a writer, you could easily work at Simpsons, basically. And you see it sometimes at the work, like they do have higher education behind their writers.
Have you guys watched Disenchanted? With Matt
Still on my list, yeah.
Oh man, it's pretty good. If you like F is for Family and Simpsons, it's got a lot of the Futurama feel, just Futurama back in the medieval times, but it's pretty hilarious. I think it might end up being formulaic like Family Guy, where they kind of have to repeat the same stuff, but hopefully they do a lot of seasons like Futurama.
Yeah,
it was really good.
And I'll do a couple more on this one. She-Ra got a season 2 release date announced on April 26th. The Magician gets its 5th season from Sci-Fi Channel, and Steven Universe the movie gets a release of the fall 2019 and will be aired on Cartoon Network. So that's pretty cool. So Steven Universe is a real big show. It's kind of in the vein of like Adventure Time, where it's one of those shows that like adults really like.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple episodes here and there, and I do enjoy them, but I need to actually sit down and watch them to get the grasp everybody else has. But yeah, they make it a movie, and instead of putting it out on theaters, it's just going to be aired on TV. So I thought that was really cool. Reminds me of when we grew up, we're like, hey, there's a DuckTales movie. Actually, the DuckTales movie. I'm now thinking about it. Right. There's a DuckTales movie. It's going to be on Saturday at 9 a.m.
Yeah, you're all pumped up about
Tell Dad we can't do anything outside. We're not going to be mowing or anything like that because I'm watching DuckTales. Like, it's a big deal. It's actually a good movie, though. The DuckTales movie with the genie.
That's funny. You get all that hype and excitement and you save the money of not having to go to the theaters.
So yeah, I like that they're doing that, you know? Yeah. So it's kind of cool. We'll do a couple more things. For video games, we got a new raid in WoW, the Battle for Drazah lore that's doing well. We have the race going on for that.
I was watching somebody posted something on YouTube on Vol'jin, and like the complete like Vol'jin when he dies, and then his whole ghost thing. And I'm just like, I miss you, Vol'jin. I want to come back to WoW.
He's not completely out of the game.
Yeah, I know. Right now he's trying to figure out who brought him back to, who pretty much whispered, and who brought him back.
Yeah, because he's now basically a Loa.
Yeah.
So he's not quite dead. He's actually semi a god.
So who do you think brought him back?
Well, okay, I think the most important thing is who whispered to him. And, we could do a full half hour on this. I think what WoW is trying to do is old gods versus death, because those are both, there's 6 different Pantheon's a whole separate thing. There's 6 different entities in the World of Warcraft world. One of them was Fel, which we've basically taken care of now. There's no more demons. So I think the next one that the old gods have to worry about is death, which is said to be the enemy of all. So I think an aspect of death whispered to him. They've gone to, in the storyline, might be PTR, so spoilers. They go to the Lich King. He says he didn't do it. They go to all the different aspects of Dehalia and stuff like that. So I think there's something above all of them that represents death even higher, that's trying to fight the old gods, that whispered to Sylvanas. Because I think they want Sylvanas to fight the old gods. And that's why we don't understand, because we're too low on the totem pole to understand that level of craziness.
Yeah, because somebody posted that pretty much Sylvanas wants to make everybody undead so she can control everybody.
Yeah, and she may be trying to and that's another thing too, is like Lich King's about to be thought out, because it's the 5-year. We're at the 5-year point now where he's supposed to be thought out, so he'll be running around here pretty soon. I'm excited. I know this expansion hasn't been great, but it's the storyline, you got to admit, at least is ratcheting it up pretty good.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I didn't like about this expansion is the whole Azurite power.
Well, that's what. Yeah, nobody.
That's pretty much it. But Dungeon's been amazing. Everything's been amazing.
Yeah.
Raid's been fun.
This raid in particular has been really neat. It's got 2 different cinematics that were really cool, and you're fighting mainstay characters. I mean, Rastakhan and Jaina and Megatork. So it's pretty interesting. Another piece of Blizzard news is they hire the director from Cyberpunk 2077, Sebastian Steven. He also did Witcher 3. So the optimistic look at this is it's a more adult tone for Blizzard. What do you think? Is he going to be added to one of the teams, or do you think he's going to do his own game?
I could see him doing his own game.
Yeah. I'd like to see a first-person shooter. I'd like to see Overwatch, like, because Overwatch, when it was Project Titan, was supposed to be a first-person shooter. I'd like to see Blizzard try that. Like a Far Cry kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Open world. What do you think? I mean, if anybody company we know is going to nail it, it'll be them. They always nail whatever they do.
Not really, because they didn't nail that Diablo.
Well, no, you're talking about Diablo Immortal. Yeah, something that's not out yet. So the problem with that game is we were expecting D4, but it'll probably be one of the best mobile games we'll play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it will be really good for what it is. Probably.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
You're still sour about not having Diablo 4. I understand. Yeah. So I think he's going to create a new game, and I think he'll be a more mature tone to their games, because they always have the cartoony games are lighthearted. Or he might do some like good writing for World of Warcraft, because that's one thing WoW could use is some like solid writing.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah. A couple more things. PUBG Lite starts its beta, and basically what it is it's free PUBG, but you only get the first map. And everybody's been kind of like, meh, it's okay, stuff like that. It's really not too great. It's trying to compete with Fortnite, is what it's doing. Fortnite basically free, one map, the Battle Royale. Speaking of Fortnite, there's a glitch for the Switch players. This will be the last we'll talk about for video games right now. Where if you're a Switch player, you're actually weaker than all the other systems because the Switch only operates at 30 frames per second, while all of the other ones can do 60. So you're actually the fire rate of your gun is not as high as other people's guns, so you're actually a weaker player. So they're trying to fix it right now. Epic Games. Well, it's kind of crazy. Somebody did the math on that. They're like, wait a minute. That bitch is supposed to be dead. So they did the math on it and found out that, the slower frame rates is actually affecting people.
Yeah, people do math on all the shooters and, precisely how to, the aim is on this gun and this gun. If you add a silencer to this gun, it's going to drop your rate of going up, your shooting rate. So it's pretty crazy what people do. Yeah.
And then the last piece, I'll just mention this real quick. Comic book wise, Batman Beyond number 28, Joker's coming back.
Oh, really?
It looks good too. I've seen some panels on it. It looks really good. Joker's they got this robotic Joker who's begging to be killed and helped and stuff like that, while this projection of the real Joker's coming out of his chest, fighting Batman and the new Robin and stuff like that. So it looks really good. And the whole time, Dick Grayson and old Bruce Wayne are on the monitors, trying to help. So it looks like a good one. So that's number 28. So check that out. If you guys want to see Batman Beyond fight Joker again.
I've seen a tweet and it was about doing Batman Beyond the movie.
Yeah.
And they were saying use George Clooney as the old Bruce Wayne.
That actually might be good. I mean, I really don't want George Clooney to touch Batman again in a lot of ways.
No,
but as just an old Bruce Wayne, that might be good.
Old Bruce Wayne,
and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
No.
JGL as Batman Beyond. I am
good
down.
Pair. Him and George, I like it.
Mm-mm.
Who would you want to be? This is actually part of something we'll talk about later on a little bit. But who would you want to be Batman Beyond? Who would you want to be? What's his name? McGee, right?
Terry McGinnis.
Okay. McGinnis.
I don't even know how I remember that.
Seriously. You pulled that out of nowhere. That was pretty good. Who would you want to play Terry McGinnis?
Honestly, I don't know. I can't think of names right now. I can't really think of actors, but I wouldn't want to see your guy.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
No.
Oh, come on.
That's all I want to see. I want to see JGL do it.
No,
we'll talk about it later on.
He's supposed to be Robin now. So
well, they're the Christian Bales.
Now they can't do it.
Yeah, all that stuff gets reset.
They can't do it.
After the end of every movie, pretty much, they reset the world.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about... That's it for the news. Let's talk about... We have this Resident Evil game that came out. People have been going crazy
Best game ever.
It's a total remake of Resident Evil 2, right?
Yes.
When was Resident Evil 2 released? What was it, like 10, 15 years ago? It's been a while.
That.
Yeah,
Like, it's like 1998 or something.
So to give everybody an idea what was special about this game is you played as two different characters.
Leon Kennedy or Claire Redfield.
Yeah, so you played through as Leon with Claire kind of on the side, and then you played through as Claire, right?
Yeah, you'll see her like when you get through an area, she'll be in the vent or whatever, and like, hey Leon, how you doing?
Yeah.
And like in the old games, I think she threw him like a lighter at one point because he needed a lighter. Yeah. This game, they did a remake, but they also changed the game too. It's not
that's the key with this game that people are excited about, is because a lot of times when they do a remake, they'll just reskin the old one with the new technology.
Yeah.
This one they rebuilt from the ground up.
This one is actually 3D, and now it's over the shoulder shooting, just like in Resident Evil 4 and 5. That is what Resident Evil needed.
Yeah.
That game, because the old game was 2D and you're just seeing them on the side.
It was a fixed camera, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like a pain in the butt, try shoot, because you would have to like up, down, and then if they're not close enough, then you gotta like wait till they get closer, then aim down to shoot them. So it was like really janky, and you got bit a lot.
Yeah.
But in this game, they also, because they changed a lot of stuff in the game. Back then, when you do the second run, they added Mr. X, which is Umbrella's like
super weapon. Basically.
Yeah, like a super weapon that goes out, destroys people.
Mr. X is in the second Resident Evil movie, correct?
In the movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the one, like the big hulking thing that she has to kill in the city. That's my Resident Evil experience, guys. Is these awesome movies?
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure he's in the second movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, in this one, in the remake, now like he just follows you. Like all of a sudden, you get to a point, and then he'll just chase you, and you can't kill him. You just can't. He doesn't die.
Yeah.
So you just gotta run around, and then you gotta try and figure out these puzzles while he's chasing you, and then that's a pain in the butt.
More nuisance than actual challenge.
But it's scary too, because all of a sudden you hear him like walking up the stairs,
that's pretty good.
And you're like, oh man, he's coming at me, he's coming for me. And then
it's a real Big Daddy effect.
Yeah, the boss fights were amazing.
Yeah,
I love the boss fights. They did a really good job on it. Puzzles, they were really hard. They have like locks, and you have to figure out the combinations and stuff like that. And some of them are like little names like Ned or MGE or something like that on his like thing.
Yeah.
So it's a big puzzle in the whole game.
Okay.
And then you unlock weapons, attachments for the weapons.
Yeah. So I know there's a problem in the first or in the earlier games. How is the ammo in this game? Do you feel like you have plenty of ammo, or are you constantly like being real sparing with your shots?
When you're in the police station, which is it used to be a museum. That's why it's like so huge. There isn't enough ammo, so a lot of times you just have to like try to dodge them, or zombies don't die, but not all of them die. So back then, shoot for the head, kill them.
Right.
Now it's take out their limb, take out like a leg or something, so
you can get around them.
Yeah, but they'll still go after you and they'll still catch you. If you walk by like close enough, they'll still like try to bite your feet.
Yeah, they'll like drag onto you and stuff like that.
So, but.
How do you feel that affects the gameplay? Does it seem like it's better that you can just knock them, or does it feel like it was better when you were actually able to put them all the way down?
I like this one because it's more of a challenge.
Yeah.
Back then it was a lot easier. You know, just like a couple bullets, and all of a sudden they stop moving. Like,
right. And then it was just like
it's like a certain animation, and then it's like, okay, they're done.
Yeah, and then it was kind of like set it and forget it. You didn't have to mess with them ever again.
Well, back then there was also another thing. Like if I put 2 bullets in them and I walk out, when you come back, they need those bullets are gone. So you have to reshoot them and kill them. This one, like if I put like 3 bullets in a liquor, go out, come back, and put one more, I'll kill them.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah,
so it doesn't reset your
it
ammo
doesn't
count
reset
on character,
which is pretty awesome.
How was the graphics of this time around? Do they think they did a nice job? Or feels like it's a little behind?
No, they did a great job on it. Okay. Everything, the visuals, the sounds, everything.
Oh, the sound's good?
Oh, yeah. I jumped so many times. At nighttime, I had to actually okay, I gotta get off it. My heart's pounding too hard. I gotta take a break.
That's a good game right there.
I don't really do well with scary things like jump out. And that game, for some reason, always made me jump. And the puzzles kind of made me mad too, because it was just like a headache.
Do you feel like the puzzles are challenging or just frustrating?
Some of them were actually pretty challenging. Yeah. Because there's plugs and there are chess pieces, and then you got to figure out where they go to. Right. That was a pain in the butt. Then you see cool new technology like Ada, when you get to mess with Ada Wong, who's a mercenary. Yeah. She has a scanning gun that she could look in the walls and look at the wires and stuff and turn on power, open this door and stuff like that. So that was cool. The stuff they did, the cutscenes were really cool. Yeah, they're amazing, and the endings are gonna be different too. When you play Leon and then you go do the second run as Claire, the ending will be different. So
the actual story changes?
Yeah, the story does change.
Wow, I'm surprised they're doing that.
Yeah, so on the Leon side, you fight this mutated professor or whatever. Yeah. On Claire's side, after you beat it, you're supposed to fight him on a train, and he's trying to eat you on a train. Okay. Something like that.
That's interesting that they decided to change the entire story based on who you are. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It's cool. Like I said, it's pretty awesome because once you beat it, then you'll start as Claire on the second run, but you start where you actually met her on Leon. Yeah. So it's pretty awesome.
Okay. So let's say, looks like graphics are good, sound is good, story's good still.
Yeah, everything's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So let's say out of 100, what would you give it?
I give it.
I'm gonna ask
98.
Dude, come on. 98?
A 98.
Basically, best game you've ever played?
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. I'm a fan of Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil.
That's huge. 98. That's pretty nuts.
That's the best Resident Evil game that came out.
Normally, when we do a video game review, when we do our big one, when we do Kingdom Hearts, we'll actually go out of 100 on each specific topic and then add those up for the average so we know, based off of everything we've done so far. Okay, so 98 for that one. What would you give for the old Resident Evil?
Oh, back then?
For its time, yeah. For its time back then. Would you feel... So basically what I'm trying to get out of you is, do you think this game, without the nostalgia, is better than the old game? Without this nostalgia.
Yeah. In its time. So how you felt when you played that game back then?
And the graphics at that time, the gameplay at that time, which you've already been complaining about.
Yeah. Oh, man.
97.
Out of 90s?
No, out of 100.
I don't know. I'd probably give it a 70 because it was clunky.
You have gone way lower.
It's clunky.
It's one of the games you've brought up a few times since we've talked.
But it was clunky. It was a pain in the butt. Now I played this one. This one's so amazing.
So the appeal of the first one must have been all story then.
Yeah.
Okay. Not so much the gameplay.
And I was actually able to beat it at my age. That was the thing. I couldn't.
Oh yeah, you don't think you could beat this one at that age?
No, I wouldn't.
God, could you imagine sitting down Brody to play that game?
The puzzles sometimes are insane.
Yeah. All right. It sounds like that's
great
worth
game. Everybody should buy it.
Yeah.
So worth the $60.
The scariest game I think I've played was, I know people are going to be like, that's not even a scary game, BioShock 1.
Oh, that's such a good game.
It's such a good game when the big daddies are like, and then you hear the
yeah.
And you're like, oh, stop what you're doing.
Yeah. That was a good game.
I love that game.
Whatever happened to make it more?
They're working on it. They're working on more BioShocks. Yeah. And after Infinite, they can kind of do whatever.
I didn't like the whole Infinite thing.
You didn't like that?
Good.
I didn't bother playing.
I'd love to review that game. I'd love for us to replay it and review it again.
Well, yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
The reason I like BioShock was because it was underwater.
But the point of Infinite is that, but the underwater still exists. So does one where they're in the blue world. So does one where they're buried in the middle of a mountain. So does one, there's Infinite. So, there's one where they're in France. We saw that part.
Infinite universes.
So there's one for every different kind. And it's the same repeating story. It's just infinite.
Yeah,
so
which means they could just keep making games.
Yeah. they basically, that's what they did. They're like, we want to do whatever. Whatever's cool. They can do a full steampunk one. They can do one that's all pirates.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see that now.
Yeah,
Pirate one. So they can do whatever now. So it'd be pretty interesting. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I say we play all 3 of them again and then review the whole story.
Number 2, I never played number 2. And this is why. I went out and bought number 2.
I remember that.
I got sick of the dog that night.
Yeah, you had the plague.
Yeah. And so then I watched you play it for me because I'm like, I was like sick. And I'm like, Jonathan, I just got to know the story, man. Play this game in front of me.
That was so good.
And so you play the whole game while I'm watching you like, oh, it's a big sister. Oh.
That was good.
Yeah.
I like that. But yeah, let's play all those over again.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to play. Yeah, the first game was, I remember very well playing the first, because I played the demo for the first game. I was like, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. So when I played the first game, I purposely walked like slow to and I made sure to all my shots were cinematic, because I'm like, I'm going to embrace this game. Yeah. And it was worth it. It was a really good game. All right, next up we got Jonathan. Jonathan's talking conventions. All right, John.
So I stumbled upon a website called upcomingcons.com.
Upcomingcons.com. All right.
It's pretty easy. They list out just I hope this is every convention that's going on in the US because there's tons of them. I didn't have time to go through all of them. I made 2 typed pages of good detailed notes and then left them at home. So
smooth.
Yeah. I come to you guys with some nice improvised last minute notes. So my plan was to go over all of the upcoming conventions in February so that everybody out there can pick and choose which ones they want to go to. There would have been probably 80 that I would have had to talk about
for February, which is okay. So just a heads up for convention goers, if you're new to the game, that's crazy that they're in February because February is not convention season.
Yeah,
usually conventions are in the summer, so it's kind of crazy. There's 80.
It was a lot. But that covers like a broad spectrum of stuff too. That's like anime, comics, like a nostalgic, Pulp Fiction, kind of like a bunch of different categories. So then I went through and started narrowing them down, picking out which ones I thought I would be interested in, or our audience would be. And so I had a pretty good list going, but I left that at home. So I'll just go over a few here, though. There's one we're missing today. It's in Colorado Springs. Is a Galaxy Fest. Is
that about Galaxy Quest? Because I'll go right now.
It's not specifically, but I think that's where they got that name from. Because
that's awesome.
They call it a multi-genre pop culture and comic convention, but it kind of encompasses pretty much everything we talk about. Yeah, is what it seemed like. And so they have some pictures online and stuff, but. No, in their description, it sounds like this is they're not the only ones that do a Galaxy Fest. Like, it's starting to become a more common thing, just like a Comic-Con. A Galaxy Fest would just be a more broad spectrum of that. So that's going on today, right now, February 1st through 3rd in Colorado Springs. So
get out there, guys, if you're there.
If anybody's nearby. So for next weekend, I saw this one was kind of interesting for anime fans. They have, I guess anime and Japanese culture fans. It's Kanpei, I think Kanpei-Con.
I'm offended that you didn't pronounce that perfectly.
Yeah, right. I know. It's KANPAI ! Con, which I actually Googled that because I was like, that's got to be something. Maybe it's like a certain anime series or something. It means cheers in Japanese. Kanpei. So it's Cheers Con.
Okay, Cheers Con.
Yeah, so that's in Omaha, Nebraska. That's February 8th through 9th. That's just a Japanese culture and appreciation convention. It's all about anime, manga, Japanese video games, and stuff like that. One thing, I was looking on their website, and they have a ton of cosplayers there.
Yeah.
So I was like...
Cosplayers are so fun.
Yeah.
One of these days, because I'm starting to slowly go to conventions more and more, I gotta go as a cosplay. Or, I think one of the BlizzCons, I don't know. You guys gotta go with me, though. We gotta, make it a trio, so...
Heck yes.
Think of something that we can do. Maybe the full Ninja Turtle.
You already know I won't cosplay.
If you were fully covered in cosplay where they couldn't see your face, would you still not do it?
No, I still wouldn't do it.
But you saw at BlizzCon how good they are and how they all hang out at the fountain. That'd be
Squeaks will cosplay.
I know, Squeaks will. I mean, Squeaks will show up to a recording with no video in cosplay. But, all right, Daniel. This is a challenge. I'm going to figure out a good cosplay for you. I'm thinking, Hanzo or something like that would be cool.
Nah.
No? I'll get you a bow now.
Something that's grouchy and always upset. That would be perfect.
Eeyore. You could be Eeyore.
That's what everybody tells me.
Oh my god, Daniel's the human Eeyore.
He is.
Does that make me poo? I do like honey.
I'm no Tigger, though. I don't know.
Oh, I wish I was Tigger. Tigger's the cool one.
I'll be Piglet.
And what's funny is, Piglet's probably more like what we all are. Just like, I don't know. All right, sorry, continue.
So we also got Pulp Adventure Con in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on the 9th. This was pretty interesting because I was looking at a lot of different conventions, and this one was more a vintage classic comic book convention. Ooh. Very old school, a lot of classic movie memorabilia and a lot of collectibles and stuff like that. So it kind of reminded me of more like swap meets that I've gone to in the past. They have old car parts and stuff like that, but this is just more comics and video game and movie stuff. So.
And that's in Florida, you said?
Yeah, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Fort Lauderdale. That's another thing you just brought up. I wanted to make sure to shout out. Swap meets, guys. Keep an eye out for swap meets. That is untold hero of comic books and comic book collectibles. Yeah. You just went to one, and we could talk about that a little bit here afterwards.
Yeah. They have more tools and parts and
stuff.
Right,
but you still find some gems.
Yeah, there's collectors out there. Yeah. All comic book collectors, know about swap meets and go. So another one that I saw that was really interesting to me, which I don't know why I would find it interesting, but is Gallifrey 1 is a convention down in LA, in Los Angeles, California. Yeah. The 15th to the 19th, and it's just a Doctor Who convention. And I know
no surprise.
Doctor Who is huge, apparently. But this is a big one they do every year. And I can't remember. They said on there, I believe this is the 13th year they've done it. I believe is what their website said. But when I was looking through this on my detailed notes, I was trying to add whatever conventions had good guests, good stars that are going to be there speaking or presenting. This one had way too many to list. There's probably about 50 guests they have going to this.
This is the Doctor Who one?
Yeah.
Really? Has that many guests?
Oh, it was a ton. I mean, I just scrolled through the list and I was like, okay, and it has pictures and a description of the person and what they're
it kind of reminds me of the Star Trek ones that we go to where they really focus on the guests.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's probably a lot of speakers just going up.
Would you ever consider watching the Doctor Who series? I mean, it's like from the 50s on. I mean, it's
I don't know anything about. All I know is it's something about a phone booth time traveling, right?
Yeah. What's sad, the most thing I know about Doctor Who is from Community's knockoff version of Doctor Who.
I'd give it a shot.
It's one of those things where it's like, I think there's got to be fans of Star Trek and Doctor Who and Star Wars, they have to cross a little bit, but I think your brain can only fit so much. Yeah. And Star Trek takes a lot to know as much as we know about Star Trek, and then Game of Thrones and stuff like that. So to add Doctor Who would be like overload.
The fact that there's such a big fan base behind it, I think if I could find it reasonably, I'd probably at least watch one season of it and see if it hooks me up. It probably
it's on like
would.
Hulu or something, but yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it's worth giving it a shot. Yeah. But that's all I have in my notes for today of conventions. If you go to that website, though, upcomingcons.com, I mean, I want to keep doing research and bringing. Yeah. I want us to start going to some, but just so that our fans know that hey, there's a lot going out there, but there's tons. I couldn't even list enough for this month, but there's a bunch out there in different categories. So whatever.
Upcomingcons.com, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll put that in the description.
And what's the best thing that I found when I was looking at them is they don't just have the little blurb, because they do have the name of the convention, location, and a little explanation of it. But when you open that up, you can go to the website. You have the link to their website. Nice. So then they all these conventions had big detailed pages with you can order room tickets and see how much it costs for signatures from the guests and stuff like that. So
nice thing about conventions is they're generally pretty cheap, unless you're going to like an E3 or a BlizzCon or something like that.
Yeah, those are $30, $20 to $50, something like that.
Yeah, so they're usually not too bad. Most expensive parts of the stuff you're going to buy inside.
Actually, I want to say the Pulp Adventure Con one that's all classic comics and stuff was $5.
Yeah, a lot of times it's whatever the minimum wage is in the area.
Yeah, it's in Florida.
So for us, it's like $15 nowadays. So yeah, check out those conventions. That's pretty good. We're definitely going to be going to a lot of conventions, making sure to do some recording live from the conventions. Oh, yeah. We have BlizzCon this year, WonderCon. We're going to WonderCon. Did you find anything good at that swap meet? Any good collectibles?
No. There was some really old looking X-Men collectibles. I actually sent you a picture of that one spot that guy had.
Actual model kits. Yeah.
And this guy had a lot of different. He had really old board games. It was kind of cool.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah. And he had some small selection of comic books and just action figures and stuff like that. But I didn't end up picking any up. I couldn't. I'm not good at knowing what actually holds any kind of value or what's worth getting. I mean, and my backpack was already pretty full. tools and parts and stuff like that. But I do want to keep going and find cool collectibles like that, fill shelves like you have here.
Yeah. Well, one thing and I actually kind of want to do it too. A really cool collectible thing that people are doing now with old board games is they take the actual board out and they frame it and put it on a wall.
Yeah.
It looks so cool too. Like old school Monopoly and stuff like that on the walls. It looks really good.
That's funny.
Yeah. You gotta check it out.
Never know what people are going to do.
I know, but I mean, when you see it, you're like, man, that makes sense. This is like art that everybody recognizes. This is a Monopoly board.
I was thinking if you use a nice frame with a deep frame, and you put a chessboard in there, and then on the bottom of the frame you have all like nice metal or classic chess pieces in the bottom of the frame, it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I like it. All
right, so I think that's about it. I mean, I know we didn't talk much about Super Bowl, and because we record on a Saturday, Super Bowl's tomorrow, and this is posted on a Monday, so we don't really. The team with blue did really good. Yeah. I really liked that game. Commercial. That's one thing too. Is all the ads that are coming out Super Bowl. We know there's going to be a Captain Marvel ad. There's going to be a new Avengers ad.
Yes.
So what we'll do is we'll post those on our website. I'll post all those on our website.
And for our audience, if you guys are listening and you watch the Super Bowl, look at the ads and tell us what you think is the best. We could talk about that next week.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of hot ads coming up. Probably a new Shazam ad, which is like, meh. Anybody care about Shazam right now? I'm just totally not interested.
Remember the other, what was it, 2 years ago, that ad for Dodge came out, and it was like the farmer, it was like a long ad. I was like, that's an amazing ad.
It's so funny you mentioned that. So Stephen Colbert, I watch him every night, but he, I actually watch him in the morning on YouTube. But anyways, he did a fake Super Bowl ad that was like, all right, we're going to plug at everybody's heartstrings, and it was just always like, it was super sad and funny. It was like, and I'm a military guy, and I'm a kid who died already, and stuff like that. And like, we're dead too already. It was hilarious, but it was really worth the watch. He's got it on YouTube. But yeah, that was a good ad. All right, guys. So we'll see you guys next week. Y'all take it easy, and bye.
Bye.